Nothing to do but rejam all in. I'm not folding.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here at the esteemed Texas Card House, and we're doing a little challenge again today, 1-2 buy-in.
Yes, it is challenge time. We're setting a timer, 3 hours on the clock, and here's what's gonna happen. We are setting a tiered penalty reward system for likes. If this video gets 1,500 likes, whoever does the worst will have to do a punishment that you guys are not gonna hear yet. If the video gets 2,000 likes, both second and third place have to do that same punishment. So bump up the likes to see more people get punished, and this one should be a fun one.
Yo, comment if you think I'm gonna win, boys. Let's go. Here we are in the big blind, looking down at pocket fives. We see 4 limps, mostly from late position. I think about raising for 1 second, but I just check it back. Looking at his set, board comes 8, 5, 10. We do just that. On a dynamic board, I want to bet big. I make a pot size bet to $10, although looking back, I think I definitely could go bigger here because the pot's already so small because of the limps. Hijack makes the call and the button makes the call. The turn comes the 7 of clubs. The board is dynamic. I still can bet here for value to get value from 2 pairs. Draws, I make it $30 to go and just the button calls. The river, all of those draws get in. It's the 4 of diamonds. I don't think I can bet here small for value, so instead I check, trying to get to showdown. The button does indeed put a bet out there at $55. I think this bet really looks like value. Going 5 ways to a flop, someone's going to have a flush draw on the flop. That's what I'm thinking in my head. The 4 obviously wasn't a great card, but I'm more scared about the diamonds. I make a pretty tight fold here with my set. Hard to do. After folding, the man asked me if I folded a straight, which I reply no. So that makes me think that he had a flush, but we'll never know. Off to the next hand.
Right as we sit down, we see our good buddy Don at the table. He purchased a Next Gen Poker card protector. He scoops in over $300 pot his way, getting some of that next gen run good. First hand for me, we got ace king offsuit. We are in the big blind. We see 1 open from middle position to $10. The cutoff makes a call, folds all the way around to me, and I'm definitely going to be 3-betting here. I 3-bet to the tune of $50. Folds back around to the initial raiser, the middle position. He makes a call for $50. Then the cutoff says something pretty interesting.
If I don't envision me folding, I'm all in.
He rips it all in for $150 total. It's back onto me and I have a decision to make. I just sat down, I have 300 in my stack. I decided to re-go all in. There's some dead money in the pot, so I ship it for $300 and middle position quickly folds. He asked me how many times I want to run it. I say whatever's good with me, and he asks to run it twice and flips over king, queen of spades, the absolute dream. I have the ace of spades too, so we're looking good here. We're off to 2 boards. The first board runs out 10-3-4, all hearts. The turn is a 5 of hearts, and the river is the deuce of spades. We hit the king high flush on that one. The second board, all we have to do is fade a queen, 2-8-10 rainbow, looking good. The turn is a jack of clubs, so now he's got the open ender as well. Hopefully we can avoid some outs on the river. We do. It is the 5 of diamonds, and we scoop in this pretty sizable pot right away to start off the session. I'm hoping to win this challenge.
We're starting this hand all the way at the turn. I had the 6-2 offsuit in the big blind, pretty trash hand, but now I have 2 pair on this board of 3 hearts. A girl who is also my age, very rare combination to see a college female player at my table, so shout out to Brianna. After hitting 2 pair, I thought about betting, but I checked because I saw Brianna to my left holding chips. Not some chips, all of her chips. She's small stack and she goes all in on this turn card for $62. Folds back to me. I have got 2 pair. The pot is $10. Her bet is $62. With my 2 pair, I don't know whether I should call or fold. Starts talking to me.
I don't actually have anything. I'm just short stack, so I'm trying my luck.
You want me to call? Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, call. Let's see. No buzz.
Like, that's gonna impact my decision.
No, I mean.
No, I just hit the worst 2 pair.
I mean, I don't have anything. I have 1 pair right now. So.
You don't have anything, but you have 1 pair too.
I have 1.
What do you have?
I have 1 pair. I have top pairs. I have 1.
I don't want to call here when the odds of her bluffing are pretty low and the odds of me hitting a full house are already pretty low. So I reluctantly make the fold, and Brianna shows the flush, jack 4 of hearts. Nicely done, Brianna.
We won 1 big pot with ace king already. Hopefully we can make it 2. We are in middle position. There's an under the gun straddle to $5. Plus one limp stat $5, and I decide to bump it up here to $25. Folds around to the hijack and he makes the call. Cutoff makes the call as well. Folds around to the straddle, he calls, and the limper folds. The flop comes 10 king deuce. We hit top pair, top kicker on a rainbow board. We are loving life. Checks to me and I bet $55 here. We get calls from both of the later position players and the straddler folds. The pot is getting big. I'm hoping for a dud turn card. We get one of those. It's the 6 of diamonds. Brings in the diamond flush draw. When it's on me here, I decide to bet $115. Definitely not going to be slowing down. Although I lose the sets and 2 pairs, I'm willing to get my money in here, and I want to charge draws like queen jack and also weaker kings. Unfortunately, both players fold. However, I'm happy to be scooping in this large pot our way to continue stacking up chips and taking names.
First hand for me, we didn't start recording till the flop, but it's juicy. Let me get you caught up. We've got Jack 10 of hearts under the gun. I open it up to $6. George, our buddy in middle position, 3-bets us to 17. He's a very active player. And the button cold calls. Normally, I do not like flatting a 3-bet out of position, especially with a hand like Jack 10 of hearts, but it's not that much more money. There's another player involved, and I want to be playing pots against the homie George. So I make the call. Off to a flop 3 ways, which comes pretty damn good. It comes queen, king, ace with 2 hearts, meaning we have the nuts with the royal flush redraw, aka the dream. I check. George does not c-bet, unfortunately. He checks, and it checks around. Now we are back in live time to the turn, which is the 5 of clubs. Second club on board. Now it's time to put some money in the pot. I make it 25. George gets out of the way, meaning he was probably 3-betting us pretty light, but the button makes the call. So we've got a chance at some action off to a river in which we are downgraded from the nuts by hitting a flush, which is the 9 of hearts. It's not very often that I'm going to complain about this, and I'm not going to, but we don't have the nuts anymore, and it's definitely time to bet now. I make it $60 for value, and he folds. So not much to be had here, but it was a roller coaster of emotions with the potential for my first ever royal flush. Comment below, have you ever gotten one? I have not.
I look down at pocket 6s in the low jack with about $300 in my stack. There's a straddle, so we're playing 1, 2, 7. I 3 times the straddle. I bet $21. Folds all the way back to this under the gun player, and he re-raises to $42. He only has 130 in his stack. He's playing very aggressive. I don't believe him. I'm not going to fold here. I think that the pair is probably good right now, so I go all in to maximize my fold equity. That's not what happens. It's Texas. He makes the call here and shows just the king, going off to 2 boards because we run it twice. First board comes 3, ace, 4, 10, 5. Second board comes queen, jack, 5, 10, 7. I win the first board. He shows king, jack offsuit, so he wins the second board. Unusual hand from him, but like I said, I put him on a weak range, so fair result nonetheless.
Next hand, we're in the small blind. There's an under the gun limp, a middle position limp, and the cutoff opens it up to $17. Back onto me. I look down at, oh my gosh, for a 3rd time, ace king offsuit. I'm definitely going to be 3-betting once again. I make it $40 here. I'm not sure why I size so small, but that's what I made it at the time being. We see a call from the under the gun limper, folds back around to the cutoff who opened it up originally, and he makes a call for $23 more. We're off to a flop 3 ways, out of position in a 3-bet pot. It comes 5-4 deuce with 2 clubs and a diamond. We've got 2 overs, a gutter, and a backdoor nut flush draw. I decide to pot control and check. This board is a lot better for my opponent's ranges than mine. I don't think I'm going to be getting a middling pocket pair to fold on this board. The under the gun player checks and the cutoff bets $60. I think floating here is actually fine. It's only a half pot size bet, so I go ahead and do that. I'm looking for any club on the turn that I can possibly check raise on. Any 3 would give me a straight, and any ace or king would give me top pair. So I make the call for $60 and the under the gun player folds. Off to a turn, heads up, it comes the queen of hearts. Not an ideal card because we don't hit it. However, this card is way better for my range than my opponent. I check it over to him and he bets $100. He looks a bit scared though when he bets it, and I'm staring at his stack. You can see me eyeing it right here. He only has about $80 left. If we were deeper here, I think a check raise might actually be warranted. This card's way better for me. I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of queens in his range if he's betting on that flop, and I can put a lot of pressure on middle pocket pairs like 7s through 10s. But unfortunately, because he is so short stacked now and left himself with such little chips behind, I don't think he's going to be folding if I put him all in. I just let my hand go and we're on to the next one.
This hand, we have King 10 offsuit in the hijack. We see an under the gun limp. A limp will not do. I make it $15, and our buddy George in the cutoff makes the call. We are going heads up out of position to a flop of 10-6 deuce rainbow. We flop top pair with a pretty damn good kicker. For that reason, I c-bet for $15, and as you can see, he makes the call before I put the chips in. I don't even know how he knew how much money I was going to put in there. I did not verbalize my bet. But he puts 15 in there before me. So we're going off to a turn, which is the 3. It is the second club on deck. And it's time to size up and charge the various holdings that George could have here, being a light player. I make it 40. He calls slightly less quickly than the snap call on the flop, but still with some pace for sure. Heading off to a river, which I hope is clean. It's the ace of spades, you know, not a great card as we don't have top pair anymore. The draws did miss, all the main ones. I check it over to him, prepared to call a reasonable size bet, but he checks it back. I show thinking I'm good, and I am. We scoop a nice one, and hopefully are not going to lose this bet.
Why can't anyone fold King Jack offsuit in Texas? Okay, playing 1, 2, 5, so there's a $5 straddle. I look down at pocket 10s in the hijack. There are 2 early position limpers. I raise to 20. The button makes the call, the small blind makes the call, and now the big blind does something pretty sus. He raises to $82. That is a 3-bet. That means a lot of strength at 1-2. I do not think that this is a position to set mind, as he only has $300 in his stack. I don't want to call and try to play this out of position. I don't want to raise against such a tight ace, king, kings, queens range. So, guys, I just make the fold here. And we are rewarded, and we do get to see everyone's hands. The big blind shows pocket kings for quads after the run out. So great fold for us, but we are now down $200.
This one's fun. We got king, queen of spades, and under the gun, I open it up to $7. Huge raise by me, I know. And the middle position player calls, the hijack calls, the small blind calls, and the big blind calls. We're off to flop 5 ways. The flop comes 3-8-3, 2 spades. We got the king high flush draw. We are 5 ways to this board. However, this is super dry texture, and I've got some outs and 2 overs. I decide to still bet here when it checks to me. I bet $15. The middle position player folds, the hijack folds, the small blind folds, and the big blind, the same guy we went to war with in the last ace king hand, decides to raise here to $40. Kind of suspicious. However, I'm not going anywhere. For $25 more, I make the call. The turn is the 7 of hearts. He checks to me. Now I'm sensing some weakness here, and I've got a chance to capitalize on it. I don't want to let that go to waste. I bet $75 here, hoping to put some pressure on him. He could have low pocket pairs, anywhere from deuces up to 6s. Right as those green chips hit the felt, he makes a grunt. I can tell he didn't like that bet. He thinks about it for a while and lets his cards go. Lucky to get this one through, but I had plenty outs on the river if he were to find a hero call.
I'm down $10 more. I'm down 40.
It's very close.
I'm down 44. He's down 34.
No, I'm down 49.
49? Oh, I'm winning?
Yes.
Oh, let's go. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm winning.
It's
so.
basically going to come down to this last orbit.
Okay.
We got jiggities in middle position. Let's go. 4th best starting hand in poker. Under the gun opens it up to 10. Under the gun +1 calls. We don't like to see this much pressure from early positions, but we're still not going to not 3-bet our jiggities here. I make it $50, and only under the gun makes the call. We are going heads up in position to a flop of queen, jack, 4, 2 diamonds. We flop middle set. Let's go. He checks. Definitely going to be continuing here. I make it $75, and he makes the call. Off to a turn, which is an interesting one. It's the king of hearts, and he checks it over to me. Now we have a decision to make. Do we bet? If so, how much? Or do we check? Now, obviously, we are now losing to ace-10, we're losing to queens, we're losing to kings, but I realistically don't see him having any of those. I think, given this player type, I think queens would have made it into his 4-bet range pre-flop. I had seen him get it all in with jiggities pre-flop before. That would be the same case for kings, and then I don't think ace-10 finds a call on the flop unless it's specifically ace-10 of diamonds. For those reasons, I can pretty confidently say I'm going to be nutted here a lot and have the best hand a lot. So I want to keep putting money into the pot for that reason. I bet $150. He rips it all in and has me covered. Like I said, I don't really think we can get away here. If he's got his beats, so be it. I call for my remaining 130. There's over $800 in this pot, one of the biggest pots of my life. He agrees to run it twice when I ask, thank you. And let's head to 2 runouts. Runout number 1 is the 9 of hearts, and runout number 2 is the 4 of spades. He shows queen 10 of clubs. For the flopped top pair, turned open ender, and he rivers the straight on runout number 1. We chop up a huge pot. We had him pretty crushed, and this one sucks.
Although we aren't picking up pairs, we are picking up premiums. We got ace queen offsuit and under the gun. I opened it to 10, +1. The middle position player and the big blind all make the call. We're off to flop 4 ways. Ready to go to battle. It comes 8-7 queen, 2 diamonds, a heart. We got top pair, top kicker on a draw heavy board. Definitely gonna be betting here. I bet $25. We get a call from +1 and the middle position player. Off to turn 3 ways comes the 9 of spades. I bet $55 and only +1 calls. We're off to river, heads up now, out of position. And comes the 3 of hearts, a complete blank, doesn't change nothing. Now I have a decision to make whether to continue betting for value here or check and try to get him to bluff me. However, he does have a lot of hands with showdown value on this board. If he has a weaker queen, some hand like 9-10 or 8-10, if I check to him, he might check back. So I'm on the fence here. Let me know what you guys would do. I check to him and he checks back. I show ace queen, we're good. He shows the worst case scenario. He had king queen offsuit, so we had him barely outkicked and could have taken him for almost all his money, certainly. I'm kicking myself under the table after this hand and I will learn from it for sure.
Just talked to Rosie. We don't have much time left. We have to make something happen. Under the gun calls 2. Under the gun +1 bets 15. Middle position calls. I'm in the low jack. I look down at ace king offsuit. We're gonna raise it, try to take down all this dead money. I bet $62. Under the gun, who called only $2, makes the call to 62. Under the gun +1 now jams it all in for $130. Middle position goes ahead and calls these $130. I have 300 in my stack, nothing to do but rejam all in. I'm not folding, I go all in. Under the gun shrugs his shoulders and makes the call. Middle position makes the call. So we have 3 side pots. The biggest pot is against under the gun, who has king 10 of diamonds. The second biggest pot is against middle position, who has ace king offsuit. Under the gun +1 did not show his cards. We're going to a flop 4 ways, which comes ace high. Let's go. Exactly what we need. The turn is a jack. The river is an 8. We fade a ton against king 10 of diamonds. We scoop the side pot. We chop up the other side pot. We just beat Rosie in the challenge. Unfortunately, not enough to catch up to Jello, but super nice hand right at the end.
Whip-de-doo, the challenge is over. As a reminder, 1,500 likes, and one of us is punished, 2,000 likes, and 2 of us are punished.
Make sure to comment what the punishment should be. Most like comment wins.
Maybe, depending on what it is.
If it's nice, if it's nice.
That opens up a door.
Okay, if it's fair. If it's fair.
I'll start us off, was in for 3, out for 765. Big win of the day, luckily, so no punishment for me.
No punishment. I got second. I hope you guys like, but I hope I don't get punished. In for 450, out for 655.
Everyone drop a dislike on this video. I lost $55, but I will say, when Next Gen walks into a poker room and leaves with more money than we came in with, I'm happy. So I am still happy for the boys.
Good day. Okay.
Subscribe.
You know what to do.
Dislikes.